My name is James Turner, and I want to tell you a story from my childhood. I was only 10 years old when my family moved into an old house my father bought at a very low price. At first, the place seemed normal, but soon, strange things began happening around my bedroom closet. I heard whispers at night, saw shadows moving without reason, and felt as if something was watching me from behind the closet door. I tried to convince myself it was just my imagination, until the closet began opening by itself, revealing things that should never exist in a world like ours. What happened inside that house still haunts me. Until this day, no one knows the truth behind those voices. I am sharing this story because I want someone to believe me. I want someone to know that monsters are real, and sometimes they hide in places meant to keep us safe. My family moved into the new house on a cold winter morning. I remember the air feeling heavy, as if the house itself was holding its breath. I followed my parents through the hallway, dragging my suitcase behind me. The wooden floors creaked with every step. Something about the silence made me uncomfortable, like someone was waiting for us. My bedroom was larger than my old one, but it felt empty and strange. The wallpaper had faded flowers that seemed to be staring at me. The room smelled like dust and old clothes. In the corner stood a tall wooden closet, darker than the rest of the furniture. I felt uneasy the moment I looked at it. My mother smiled and asked if I liked the room, but I barely heard her. My eyes were locked on the closet door. It looked ancient, older than the rest of the house, as if it didn't belong here. Something inside me whispered not to open it. I pretended to ignore it, but the feeling stayed. That night, I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. The wind outside made the windows rattle, but that wasn't what scared me. From the closet came the sound of something scratching. It was soft at first, like fingernails dragging across wood. I covered my ears, but the noise only got louder. I thought it might be a rat or some animal trapped inside, so I gathered the courage to check. My heart pounded as I walked towards the closet. Each step felt heavier than the last. The scratching stopped the moment I reached the door. The silence was worse than the noise. My hand shook as I opened the closet. I expected clothes, boxes, something normal, but the closet was empty, completely empty. The air inside felt freezing, much colder than the rest of the room. I closed it quickly and hurried back to my bed, too afraid to sleep. The next morning, I told my parents about the noise, but they laughed. They said I was just stressed from moving. I wanted to believe them, but deep inside, I knew something was wrong. The closet wasn't normal. It was hiding something. At night, the scratching returned, but this time, there was something else. A whisper. It sounded like someone calling my name. Soft, broken, distant. Joms? The voice felt like icy fingers crawling into my ears. I froze in terror. I tried covering my head with a blanket, but the whisper didn't stop. It grew clearer, almost desperate. It begged me to open the closet. My heart raced as fear gripped me. I refused to move, afraid that if I did, something horrible would come out. The closet door creaked open on its own. A cold breeze swept through the room. I stared at it, unable to breathe. My instincts screamed at me to run, but my body wouldn't move. Something inside that darkness was waiting for me. The next morning, I found small scratches on the floor near the closet. They looked like marks from tiny fingers. I didn't tell anyone. I knew they wouldn't believe me. The closet was no longer just an object. It was alive. Days passed and I couldn't sleep. I felt the closet watching me. Sometimes, in the corner of my eye, I saw a shadow standing beside it, thin, tall, and silent. But when I turned, it disappeared. My stomach twisted every time. I tried keeping the door locked, but every morning, it was open again. My mother claimed I forgot, but I never touched it. Something else was opening it. Something that wanted me inside. One night, the whisper changed. It wasn't calling my name anymore. It was crying. Soft sobs echoed from inside the closet. The sound was so sad and painful that it made my chest hurt. I could not understand why it wept. I slowly approached, my curiosity overpowering my fear. "Who are you?" I whispered. For a moment, the crying stopped. Then, a voice replied, "Help me." My blood turned cold. Something was stuck inside, or pretending to be. I told my best friend, Oliver, about it. He laughed and dared me to sleep inside the closet for one night. I refused instantly, but his challenge stayed in my mind. I wanted to prove I wasn't scared, even though I was terrified. That night, I sat in front of the closet, staring at the door. It felt like a doorway to another world, a dark one. I placed my hand on the handle and felt a pulse, like a heartbeat. The closet was alive. Suddenly, the door yanked open, hitting my hand. A strong force pulled me inside. I screamed, but no sound came out. The darkness swallowed me whole. It felt like falling into an endless pit. I woke up in a dark, endless room. The walls were covered in scratch marks and drawings of terrified children. My breath shook. Were these warnings, or were they records of others like me? Footsteps echoed behind me, slow, heavy. I didn't want to turn around, but something was moving. The air grew colder with every step it took. My legs trembled. It was getting closer. I finally turned, and what I saw froze my soul. A tall, faceless shadow stood inches away from me, his head tilted as if studying me. It raised one long finger and pointed at me. I felt my heart stop. "Why are you here?" I whispered. The shadow leaned closer and whispered back, "Because you opened the door." Its voice was like multiple people speaking at once. I stumbled backward, unable to breathe properly. The shadow moved its hand across the wall. The drawings began glowing, showing children being pulled inside closets. Were they trapped here forever? Was I next? The shadow pointed toward another door. It whispered, "Enter." The voice felt like chains around my mind. I knew if I walked through that door, I would never return. But I couldn't move. My legs no longer belonged to me. Just as I was about to step through, I heard my mother calling my name. Her voice echoed like a distant dream. The shadow hissed angrily and vanished. The room around me crumbled into darkness. I woke up back in my bedroom, drenched in sweat. The closet door stood open, as if mocking me. My hand had bruises on it shaped like thin fingers. This was no dream. It was real. I begged my parents to sell the house, but they refused. They said I needed help, not a new home. They didn't understand. The closet wanted me, and it wouldn't stop until it got me. For weeks, I avoided sleeping in my room. But one night, I woke up on the floor inside the closet without remembering how I got there. The voice whispered, "Soon." My body shook uncontrollably, decided to destroy the closet. I grabbed a hammer and swung with all my strength, but the wood didn't break. It sounded like I was hitting stone. The closet laughed. I heard it. I swear I did. That night, the crying returned. Louder, angrier. I covered my ears, but it felt like the sound came from inside my skull. I begged whatever was in there to leave me alone. It only cried harder. The closet door burst open, and a cold wind pulled me off the bed. I hit the floor and screamed, but nobody came. The shadow figure appeared again, closer than ever. It whispered, "It's time." I ran out of the room and into the hallway, but every door led back to my closet. The house had changed. It was twisting itself into a maze. The shadow was chasing me, and its footsteps echoed like thunder. I tripped and fell. The floor dissolved, and I sank into darkness. Hands pulled at my legs, dragging me down. I screamed and begged for help. Nobody came. The closet wanted to keep me. Suddenly, everything stopped. I woke up outside my house, lying in the snow. The closet was gone from my room forever, but the scratches remained. The whispers never left me. I'm an adult now, but the whispers still visit me when I try to sleep. Sometimes I find closet doors open in places I go. I know it's searching for me. The shadow hasn't given up, and one day it will take me back.